Now it's the Democratic shutdown. That's what we'll talk about today. This bipartisanship is alive and well in Washington. The Democrats and the Republicans have now cooperated to shut the government down. On Friday, the Republicans were ready to surrender. They were unnerved by the poll we talked about on Friday that showed the public blames the Republicans by 53 to 31 for the shutdown, and that the Republican Party has dropped in job approval from 37% to 27% in 2 weeks, the lowest level in history. So the Republicans were freaked by that, as I thought they would be, and they ran screaming to the Democrats to surrender. And the Democrats, sensing that the momentum had shifted, said, no, we won't take yes for an answer. We won't let you reopen the government until you get rid of the sequester spending cuts, which had been slated to reduce the budget for discretionary spending to $966 billion. And they said, we want it to be $1,078 billion, about $100 billion more. And we won't reopen the government unless you agree to that. And that's the state of play right now in Washington, to the extent you can call it play. And the Democrats have to be forced off that position. In a strange way, the Democrats are giving the Republicans the opportunity for a victory, even in the middle of their defeat, by making this outrageous demand. The Republicans are going to refuse and probably will prevail, I assume, later today or tomorrow or the next day, because they can't give way on the sequester limits. Those were dearly won in the last debt limit fight. But it does suggest the way to turn this both to the good of the country and the good of the Republican Party, which is to make the case squarely that the Democrats are just serial big spenders who can't help themselves. Whenever there's an opportunity to spend money, they jump at it. And the Democrats are now exposed as doing that by this $100 billion grab through the settlement of the government shutdown, and then that'll continue for 6 weeks as the debt limit probably is temporarily raised, and the Democrats are again fighting hard for the right to borrow more money. And that's an inherently unpopular thing to do. The reason the Republicans are hurting over this government shutdown is not that their position is unjust. It's not that people support Obamacare. It's that people oppose the concept of shutting the government down, much like they would oppose shutting schools down or the police department down in a job action or a labor dispute. They just don't believe that that's fair to punish people by shutting it down. But they do believe that you can make a stand over the debt limit. Now, what the Republicans should do is that they should go to Obama and say, we will extend the debt limit for 6 weeks, but we want to guarantee that when we come back, and if we're ever up against the debt limit again, that the Treasury Secretary commit to using the tax revenues the United States has that continue to flow in even with the debt shutdown to avoid default and to pay the interest on the debt. That's easy for them to do, and it's easy for the Treasury Secretary to do. Politically, however, it would be terrible for Obama because it takes the word default away from him. Debt limit minus default is a place you can fight. You can't fight over default. You can't say the U.S. should not pay its bills. But you can say that after it pays its bills, it shouldn't borrow more until it cuts spending. And that's what the Republicans should be doing. Thanks for watching.